This week on ETalk, we get a tour of the global village. Our guest busts some health myths and tunes a Taylor's back. All that and more, only on ETalk. Welcome to ETalk, where we bring you everything from LA to Elon. I'm Caroline McSwain, joined by my lovely co-hosts, Grace and Ashley, and we're so excited to welcome Taylor tonight. All right, to get started, we have a pretty heated discussion from the fans.
I think it represents, and this is a term that's been used a lot by some pundits recently, it's a hijacking of our political process. You have individuals that are elected to the government to govern, shutting that down. Why even show up?
I think it's very irresponsible of the senators, and I understand they're trying to make a statement and they're trying to get their way, but by having everyday civilians who work for the government, a lot of them are volunteering their time now in order for, you know, services like guarding the jails to be kept open, and while these senators are getting paid.
I'm really concerned about the Smithsonian and like the scientific and the historical aspects of like all the research they're doing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's mainly my concerns right now.
I'm not a fan of hinging policy that really, it doesn't matter what I think of Obamacare. You don't hinge policy on something that affects so many people.
So if the government shuts down, does that mean I get to stop paying taxes for right now because they're not working? That is awesome. Okay, for the amount that they're closed, I'm not paying my taxes. And watch, I get arrested tonight. Yeah, she said she's not paying her taxes.
You know, Representative Peter King and people like that on the right who aren't the 30 or so sort of Tea Party group that are just come to shut down government. They don't want to do it, and they're gonna. I think that cooler heads will prevail, and I think eventually the Republican Party. You know, I don't think Boehner wants to do this either. Really, I really don't.
Okay, that's pretty heavy stuff. What are you guys' thoughts on the government shutdown?
Okay, here's my thinking. I think it's ridiculous, honestly, because the least that we can expect from our politicians is to work on working together. It's not always going to be easy. They're going to have disagreements. That's kind of part, I mean, these sort of discussions and debates is what makes our country great. But you don't just suddenly walk away and be like, nah, I don't want to deal with this, because I mean, Americans are paying the price for politicians just being too stubborn. That's what I think.
I feel like it's an extreme. I feel like it's kind of like when your parents wouldn't buy you a toy, and so you would hold your breath until they would buy you a toy. I feel like that's what's going on right now, and these Republicans, they're not getting their way, and so they're holding their breath until they do, and we don't know how long they're going to hold their breath for.
I would say that there's stubbornness on both sides of this issue.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of undeniable that, you know, we can get into whatever political party you belong to, but
it goes both ways.
The thing that really bothers me is whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, right now, they are just not doing their job. Either party is not doing their job, and the people who do their job, like people in national parks, who pick up garbage, and like who do all these jobs that we rely on, they do their job and they lost their job. But the people who can't do their job are sitting pretty and doing whatever they want.
I don't think it's fair that they're still getting paid for doing nothing. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating, and I understand why our fans would be frustrated. Let's leave it at that.
Yes, I agree. I agree with everything everybody
said. You know what? The government is maybe shut down, but ETalk is up and running.
And that's all that really matters.
Yes. And you know what? It's a special day. Because it's Caroline's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Caroline.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Now, I love Caroline, and another woman I love as a fan is Emma Watson.
Yes.
You do. The sexiest actress, which I was really excited about.
Me too.
They put out these rankings all the time, but I think this kind of says something more than that she's great. I think sexy has almost become synonymous with trashy lately. And I think she is a class act and a great choice.
I agree. The thing is, too, last year Empire's #1 was Megan Fox. So look at the transition from that. Just because she's,
Megan Fox is hot, though.
Yeah, I mean, she's
you know, but it's different kind, and I think that she's the obvious type of sexy.
Yeah,
she literally has sex appeal. Like she's taking off her clothes. Whereas Emma Watson doesn't exploit herself.
She's a little more refined.
I like that they picked the smart girl, you know, because no matter what your view, if whether or not you find Emma Watson sexy or not, you can't deny that she's very composed, she's very articulate, and it's nice that people are acknowledging that for being attractive.
Yeah, I was expecting to see more of a Blake Lively type.
Which she kind of has both, which I like.
She does. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily call her smart.
But she's well-spoken. She definitely has any huge gaps.
Hermione, who's smart.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you really know if Emma Watson is smart?
She
or
went to
are you
Brown.
thinking of-
And
That's
true.
That's true.
That's the thing about Emma Watson too, is she's been a big part of a bunch of our lives, especially if you liked Harry Potter. She's been there since I was 11
grew up
years
with her,
old,
and she's blossomed.
I mean,
has.
and speaking of Blossom, Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Moved
I
me.
thought she was awesome in that.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of classy, the opposite side of that would be
Trashy.
less classy, which would be Justin Bieber. Okay, he has gone off the deep end even more than before, if that's possible. He got his bodyguards / friends, I think his bodyguards are his only friends at this point, to carry him up the Great Wall of China because he wanted to do some sightseeing but was a little tired and was too lazy to walk.
The air is so thin up there.
Yeah, I mean, he was too late. I think his pants were too baggy. He couldn't really walk up himself.
Well, you know what? Maybe he should have thought about that before he went walking up the Great Wall of China.
Great
Like, if you
Wall
know
of
you're the
China.
Great Wall of China, that means it's great, that means it's big, that means it's tall, and I think that he should have taken this into consideration with what he was wearing.
Okay, but my thing is, like, I think he's really banking on this bad boy image. I don't think this really happened.
This isn't a bad boy image.
No.
There's pictures. It happened.
I'm such a bad boy. Like he's.
I got a piggyback
But
ride.
what I'm trying to say is this kind of male diva he's trying to be.
Right.
But I think we all might be being fooled. Do you really think his bodyguards carried him all the way up the Wall of China? Like,
I mean, I saw the pictures.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, and also he knew that pictures were being
That's
taken.
true.
So I think
That's
Ashley
true.
has a
He did it
point.
on
There's
purpose.
definitely something. There's definitely some method to his madness, but honestly, he's just the most annoying
Instagram
person.
doesn't lie.
That's true. But I mean, no matter what he does, I'm gonna admit I'm still a believer.
I am not a believer.
I believe in the Biebs.
I
do.
do not believe in the
I
Biebs.
never liked Justin Bieber. I never went through a phase. None of that ever happened. I just think
I
that
met
he's
him when he had the
prissy.
swoopy hair,
Oh, that was great.
and he was cute. But when are we like that?
That was great.
Yeah, okay, so enough with believers and believing.
Please,
Let's
thank
talk
you.
about something we can actually believe in. Aliens. Okay, so a recent survey came out and it polled people of faith. So they polled Christians, Muslims, Jewish people, and basically was saying, do you believe in aliens? And what the survey was trying to show was this dichotomy between people who believe in God and they don't believe in aliens. They find this ludicrous, and kind of posing the question is, why is God so, oh yeah, I get that, and aliens are like, that's ridiculous. So I was wondering, what do you guys think about this? Is it harder to believe in aliens?
No, I mean,
if
what's
you're a person of
interesting
faith?
about this is that the similarity between God and aliens is the fact that both of them could potentially exist, but there's no way to prove it. But at the same time, I feel like there's more proof that aliens are there, and I know I'm going to anger a bunch of people by saying that, but I'm just being honest, is that they've sent all these probes and things out into space, and we can't send anything anywhere to find out if God exists or not.
Well, speaking of aliens, didn't one of the characters from The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Wasn't her sister?
Yes,
on the
Kaylee
voice?
Cuoco, who plays Penny on the Big Bang Theory, her sister Brianna actually auditioned for The Voice and made it onto Team Christina.
Oh my gosh.
But what's interesting about this, she's not the only person with famous ties.
Okay.
That has, there was Elizabeth Daly who also made it, who actually voiced Tommy on the Rugrats. And then, we had Cassidy Pope
Wait,
last year.
Elizabeth voiced.
Yes, it was a woman that voiced
Okay.
Tommy. But anyways, and we also had Cassidy Pope last year, who was in a band before she was on The Voice.
Do you think that's fair?
I mean, while I love Cassidy Pope, I think she had a really unfair advantage because she's dating the drummer from a band I listen to called All Time Low. And I went to their show on a Monday night, which is when they had voting, and they made everyone pull out their phone and vote for her. So it's kind of like double fan bases here.
Yeah.
So I feel like she kind of had an unfair advantage.
It's the same thing with Adam Lambert on American Idol. I mean, they act like they're
He was
discovering
famous
this great.
before?
He wasn't famous per se, but he was on Broadway.
He was?
Yeah, he was. He'd been on Broadway. He'd been off Broadway. He was in the show Wicked.
We've been
He
fooled.
what?
You've
Yeah,
been
hey, they
fooled.
duped
Well,
me.
they really make it seem like this is my chance to be discovered. I mean, we have to realize it's reality television, so these people have all been vetted beforehand. They've gone through the gamut.
But I mean, they're crafting their career. You know what I mean? Like, he was doing things. It just made him. it was just training for him.
Yeah,
you know, doing
he definitely wasn't famous, but
Right.
And
he certainly hadn't been discovered.
I would argue that he's still not really
Yeah,
famous.
See, but Cassidy Pope already
You know
had a
his new
career
single?
going for her
Right.
with a band, and then she just dropped it.
Yeah.
But you know what, you were saying before that, like, you know when they're going to put the people through, they put the big, you know, montage.
Right. They go to their hometown.
Except sometimes they fool you and you're like, oh, this guy's going to be awesome. And then you're like, and he is
Right.
not. And
Right.
it's
No.
weird.
Well, speaking of people who are not, I did not think this girl was awesome.
No,
Yeah,
we-
at
actually,
all.
she was a little pitchy as Randy.
I
was
would-
on
Yeah, no, it
American
started
Idol.
off really awful, so I didn't think anybody was going
Right.
to turn their chair on.
Right.
I think that viewers actually, if you haven't watched this, go and watch and let us know what you think about her singing, because we were not impressed.
Yeah,
and I'd be
at
curious
all.
to see if
Right.
that was just us being biased or,
Right.
you know, if genuinely,
No.
if she is this hidden gem, I don't know.
Well, guys, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. But coming up next, Grace is going to share some workout tips. Uh-oh. Don't go anywhere.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Do your part. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank today.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
We've been at Elon for more than a month now, and I know all of you are thinking the exact same thing. What does the inside of the Global Village look like? Well, ETalk is going to take you on a tour with one student, and we're going to hear how her experience has been so far.
It's really neat to meet just people from all different countries. That's probably my favorite part about living here. It's just meeting everyone from all around the world.
Jackie Fraunheiser and Mary-Kate Donahue are freshmen who are among the first students to live in Elon's new Global Village. But what makes this dorm so global?
My roommate's actually from Italy, so it's a great opportunity that I get to learn about her Italian culture. There's kids down the hall there's a girl from Ecuador, so I get to learn about that. So it's really cool just to be living with these people that you never thought you would meet anywhere else.
While Jackie is experiencing a cultural exchange every day, Mary-Kate is on a floor that does not have any exchange students. However, she says she is still getting cultural knowledge.
My floor doesn't hit you with the global as much, and it's definitely, the diversity isn't obvious, but I think that Elon is really trying to make this a global community, and they have so many events, and they really try to make us aware that we're part of something bigger and we're not just living in a regular dorm.
I also found out that the construction next door completing the Global Village is the least of these girls' problems.
You hear it, I only hear it on the weekdays. I've never heard it on the weekends. But you hear the soccer games so much. Like Saturday afternoon, you're trying to nap around 2 o'clock.
No.
No, that doesn't happen here.
The football games, I hear whenever I want to nap, I hear the marching band out my window.
Yeah.
So that's difficult, but I don't hear the construction at all.
Despite these loud noises, these girls would do it all again in a heartbeat.
Would you suggest to a freshman to live here next year?
Definitely.
So Elon's goal with this project is to have 75% of undergraduate students living on campus. The other building, which is going to house the Isabella Cannon Center, as well as classrooms and study rooms, is expected to be done by the 2014-2015 school year. I'm Emily DeVito, and this is ETalk.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. It's time for Tunes with Taylor, and we're changing it up this time. So guys, today I am challenging you to beat my humdinger record of 10 songs guessed in 30 seconds. Woo! Are you up to the challenge?
I know I am. I don't know about this one, but I'm ready.
All right, well good, because this is 90s theme, so we're gonna see if you guys know the songs that we grew up listening to, so let's get started.
I don't know if that's fair since Grace was born in the 60s.
Okay.
All right, so
this isn't fair. Let's be nice.
you have 30 seconds. How about Caroline? Would you like to go first?
Yes, I would.
All right, ready, set,
Give it to me.
go.
Waterfalls, TLC. Can't touch this. MC Hammer. Come on.
Skip.
Vocal seizure.
5 seconds.
Britney Spears. I'm a slave for you.
Time.
In a bottle.
Yes!
All right, well, that was close.
Oh
all right,
my God.
so
Is that what Christina Aguilera sounds like to you?
apparently,
God,
all right,
yeah,
well.
No wonder you don't like her.
Well, you guys got 2 of them right. So
Three.
had. All right, we will give you 3.
Yes, 3.
And so the first one was Waterfalls by TLC, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but CeeLo Green did some of the backing vocals in that song.
Oh,
CeeLo?
baby.
Yeah,
I knew he's
CeeLo.
been around for a while.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been in the music business.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then we also said You Can't Touch This. You probably knew this already, but MC Hammer got sued by James Brown because
actually know
it sounded like Super Freak.
I guess he can't be touched.
And so he got sued.
Super freak, super freak.
Can't touch this.
Super freak.
All right, well.
Now we're then the third one I got as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Genie in a Bottle.
Yes.
That was by Christina Aguilera. And at first, they did not want her to sing that song, and they were going to give it to someone else. But when they saw her do it, they knew it was the right choice.
Oh, she had the great moves.
All right, so let's move on.
3-0. Okay.
All right.
Do I get the points or does she?
She gets the points because she was the guesser.
Okay, then I think
and now
it
it's
was
your
only
turn.
She's going to be so bad at this.
All right, ready,
Come on.
set, go.
My butt can't lie. You other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in.
She got it.
I don't know. Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Close enough. Keep going.
My heart will always love you. My heart goes on. I will go on. Celine Dion. Whitney Houston.
Okay. Favorite song of all time.
5 seconds.
Oh, I know the song.
Stop. Time.
Believe by Cher. That is my favorite song.
I knew you were going to get offended by that. All right, well, did you know that Believe by Cher, it was like one of the first times that auto-tune was really prominently used in a song. And then
groundbreaking. She's
yes,
groundbreaking.
and so now it's called the Cher effect.
I love it. I like that a lot.
That sounds like when you like share a picture or something on social media.
And then as for Whitney Houston's song, did you know it was actually first written by Dolly Parton and she covered it, and she covered it for a movie called The Bodyguard, which she was in with Kevin Costner.
Are Dolly and Whitney close? Are those two close pals?
Given that Whitney's dead.
I mean, back in the day. You know, some people call us Dolly and Whitney.
All right, well, unfortunately,
nobody calls us that.
Unfortunately, it looks like you guys did not beat my record, so we had a 2 and a 3. But it was a nice effort. But we are out of time for today.
It has been real.
But we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are touring the Global Village, so don't go anywhere.
Hey, good job. My hands are very sweaty.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
I've always said that you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So let's acknowledge this. 1 in 6 Americans now struggle with hunger. These are our co-workers, neighbors, friends. Visit feedingamerica.org to find your local food bank to help.
Welcome back. Fall is here and so is cold and flu season.
That's right. Yasmin Arrington, a student employee at the health center, is here to debunk some of those health myths you've heard about. Yasmin, thank you so much for coming today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, ladies, for having me. I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. I'm a junior at Elon, Strategic Communications and History major.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to ask you a few questions today about cold and flu season, and you'll tell us if we are right on track or if we're believing some of these false myths, okay?
Sure.
All right, Ashley, what do you have for us?
So the first one that I know we all get yelled at when we're little, going out of the house with a wet head when it's cold out, will it actually make you sick?
If your hair is wet when you go outside?
Yes, it actually can make you sick. And I know this because I've done it.
Oh.
So, but yes, that is not a myth, believe it or not. You can get sick. But the more you do it, then your immune system is more likely to become used to it.
Oh, so really I should go out with a wet head and just really build up the
I
immune
don't
system.
advise it. I don't advise it, but you know.
It might not even be a problem because are we going to get any cold weather here at Elon or what? It's still in the 90s or something.
That is true.
It's crazy and it's
That
October.
is true.
Okay, I have one for you that I've always wondered. Which is better, washing your hands or using hand sanitizer? I feel like you hear both, and you know the hand sanitizer always says it kills 99.9% of germs or whatever. But which is actually more effective, washing your hands or using the Purell?
Washing your hands.
Okay.
Believe it or not. A
Why
lot
is
of people, we think that alcohol will take the germs off of our hands, but old-fashioned water and soap, that's the way to go.
Really?
So, yeah, I actually just recently did an experiment in biology.
Okay.
And we tested our germs on what's called algae.
Okay.
And one sample, our hands were washed with soap and water. Another sample was with our hands with hand sanitizer. And then after a week, more bacteria grew with the hand sanitizer than the one with the water and soap. So
really,
yeah,
you're the real deal. You didn't read this in a book. She tested it out herself, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow,
That's right.
That is very impressive. That's good to know.
Yeah. Well, another myth that I heard is that the flu shot can actually make you sick instead of preventing you from getting sick.
I feel like it's happened to me before. To be honest, I've gotten sick, strangely close to getting the flu shot, and I was wondering if there was a correlation there.
It really depends, honestly, because every year there are different strands of the flu.
Okay.
And so sometimes scientists who make the flu vaccine hit it right on the nail.
Okay.
And you won't get sick. But other times, depending on how your immune system responds to the flu shot, you can get sick. But it is highly recommended that you get it.
So you think it's worth it? You think it's worth it to get the flu shot?
It is worth it. Yeah. Because you might get sick, but it won't be the flu most likely.
I'm not really liking your answer. I wanted to, just X-nay on the needle.
Right.
But I guess I'll have to do it.
Where can Elon students get the flu shot?
You can go to the health center.
Okay.
And get your flu shot. You can also go to local clinics.
CVS, something
right.
like that.
I don't know about CVS, but
I think the Minute Clinic does it. You know how they have that little doctor's office in the back of CVS? I go there a lot.
I don't know. That sounds a little.
It is a little sketchy.
Yeah, in the back of CVS, the guy stuck in it.
I would say go to the health center. Let's just.
Okay.
Health center. Go visit Yasmin.
Okay, I have another myth that I've heard. Now I don't know if this is just skeezy guys making this up to get some, but I have heard that having sex can relieve headaches and sinus pressure and that sort of thing. I've even heard that having sex can boost your immune system. Is that true? Do you know anything about that?
That is true.
Ah, there you go.
That is true. Now I'm not saying
oh my God, my mom watches this show.
Yes, but there is some truth to that. It does help to boost your immune system, and it can get rid of a headache.
That is so interesting.
But you could also get, STDs or pregnant.
Right.
Be careful with this advice,
Protect
please.
yourself.
I mean, safe sex is what we would want to encourage, if anything. Right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. What other advice do you have for Elon students around cold and flu season?
I would say get your flu shot, get it early, let it process through your system, make sure that you have a pre-packet with ibuprofen and some cough drops, and stay healthy.
That's
Don't
smart.
wash your hair and go out in the cold.
Right. Yeah, that's smart. So to have sort of a pre-packaged first aid kit,
Yes.
sort of like a survival kit in case you do get the flu.
Exactly. Yes.
That's smart. So you don't have to go out and get it once you're actually sick.
Exactly.
Mom's not here to get it for you now, so
Right,
you're gonna have to
yeah.
take care of yourself, unfortunately. But that's about all the time we have. Jasmine, thanks again for coming in and helping us with all that great advice. That's all the time we have today, but make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and all that jazz. So until next time, this is ETalk.